Hello everyone and welcome back to Eat Sleep Reef. This is week number 2 on my JBJ 45 saltwater tank here. As you guys may know, I'm pretty much trying to do a full walkthrough and pretty much share my experiences with you guys and my successes, my failure, just everything. So this is week 2. I got a lot of stuff to cover, so let's waste no more time and pretty much get right to it. So this weekend I was able to visit Seaside Tropical Fish, and this place, guys, was absolutely amazing, as you can see here. Excuse me for not knowing the name of all these corals, but for you experienced guys out there, you can really just admire this. I mean, I walked in here and was absolutely amazed at how great, how big this store is. You can see tons of water there. I can't even imagine how many gallons of water or a fish they have here, but absolutely big selection. Another thing I like to look for when I walk into a new shop like this is really look at the quality. Not only the quality of the fish, you know, do the fish look happy, do the fish look good, the water quality, you know, just how overall is this place maintained, because last thing you want to do is purchase a fish from a place that you know, is going to come with a disease, because a disease can mean a big huge problem. Maybe not for someone like me that's starting out, because, you know, if a tank goes out, you're only going to lose a few fish and corals, but imagine if you have fish and corals that have taken you years and years and years to really grow and get them where you want, and then you bring in this fish with the disease, it can pretty much wipe everything out. So that's why I always like to look at the quality of the shop, you know, the water quality, the fish quality. I mean, every shop is going to have, you know, 1-2 dead fish here and there. But yeah, you can see here the absolute beauty of these fish. I wish I knew the names of all these fish, but you guys can have some eye candy here and really check it out. You can see all the tanks they have here. Just absolutely amazing. I was absolutely blown away. There's a yellow tang there that I think that's the only fish, yellow tang, clownfish. I did see some damsels. But as far as these corals, just check this out, guys. Absolutely beautiful. You know, the water's really clean. I just absolutely fell in love. The worst feeling is when you go to a place like this and you absolutely want to buy everything you see, but at the end, you know, your tank really needs a cycle. One thing this shop did have, as you can see here, are some seahorses. Now, seahorses, from what I've read, they're not very easy to have, just because they don't have stomachs and you need to feed them, I think, every day. But yeah, they are not the easiest to maintain. You can see here I made my way a bit more down. You can see just more and more and more and more and more corals. I mean, this place is just not messing around. For you guys that are in the Los Angeles area, this shop is in Huntington Beach. You can see just absolutely wide selection. Now, what I'm about to show you guys was absolutely really cool. I almost thought they were fake, but check this out, guys. This is, it's sort of like a round aquarium, and these are absolutely 100% real jellyfish. I was like, wow. You can see the selection here of medicine, you know, accessories, filters, pumps, water test kits. I mean, the list just goes on, and just, I mean, it's pretty much like when my parents first took me to Toys R Us. But I'm making my way down here. You can see just more corals. I'm not repeating any of the tanks here, guys, so you can really get an idea of how many tanks they have here of corals. You know, check that out. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. My wife, even that she's not really into saltwater reef tanks or anything, she was even really enjoying it here. Check this out. Man, I wish I can take one of each. And these are the damsels here I was talking to you guys about earlier. In my personal tank, I don't think I'm ever going to have damsels, just because I've heard and read they're kind of like low chihuahuas. You can check out that lionfish. They're kind of like low chihuahuas, always, you know, picking little fights and just overall creating stress in the tank, which I do not want. Last thing I want to be doing is dealing with ick. But yeah, guys, just you can see all the yellow tangs they have. I have no idea what that fish is. Now they're really ugly. I'm sure there's some kind of eels here, but in my opinion, I don't like them at all. You see some puffers there. More yellow tangs, more. That's one thing I did notice. They have quite a bit of yellow tangs. In this tank, I have no idea what it is, but just absolutely amazing. Now, one thing they did have sharks and rays. You can see here, see the ray coming up to the right here. And there's a little shark here that was swimming with like its whole head out of the water. I don't know if that's how sharks swim, but or maybe this species, that's how they swim, or maybe they want food, or I have no idea, but it was actually pretty cool checking them out. So that's pretty much it, guys, for the eye candy of this new shop. And really, I have a lot to talk to as far as what went on in my aquarium. So week number 2, guys, going into week 3, I did absolutely see diatoms. So for you guys that are in saltwater aquariums, you know that when you're starting off a tank, one thing you absolutely can't wait to see, and it's funny because I was jumping up and down, my wife's like, what's going on in the tank? I was like, look, diatoms. She's like, what the heck is that? She's like, all I see is the tank getting dirtier. And then I explained it to her. But yeah, for you guys that aren't aware, a tank cycling process, or at least the beginning of the end of that, is diatom. You can see the fish here actually grazing on that. One thing I really loved about these mollies, they actually act as a cleaning crew. So you know, I really followed CJ's aquarium. He really recommended these in his tank, and I see why, because you know, diatoms will come in, then guys have to get a cleanup crew, but these guys get right to it. So as they're in there helping the tank cycle, you can see they're just eating away at the diatom. Now, it sucks my camera really can't pick up all these diatoms on there. I mean, I wish you could see what my eye can see, but there's just tons of them everywhere. And you can see them just going right at it. Look at that, just grazing on all those diatoms. You can kind of pick a few up, but it's a lot more pronounced. Another thing I noticed, that every hour that passes, here you can see I brought down the light a little bit so you can kind of see them, but they're still kind of hard to pick up. But as I was saying, every few hours that passes, you notice a difference in the tank. So it's absolutely crazy how it comes to life literally right in front of your eyes. It's great, and yeah, it's absolutely fun to watch, and I just get excited because when I started seeing this, I know I'm about 1 to 2 weeks away before I can finally add my official saltwater fish, which are probably going to be 2 clownfish, for you guys wondering what I will be adding. So some new equipment did come in this week, guys. What do you think it is? Well, it is, let's see, a BRS RODI system. Now, for you guys out there, especially if you do some reading, you'll realize that RODIs are kind of a must to have. To be honest with you guys, I got tired of my local shops. I would go to get RODI water, and the readings were just off the charts. I mean, I have a TDS meter, and I was getting close to 100 parts per million, which is absolutely, you know, in my opinion, I didn't want to deal with that. So I got this, and I literally started making my water within the first hour, and was just so happy with this BRS 4-stage RODI. This is the value series, but it's the upgraded one that comes with the TDS meter as well as the water pressure. So you can see it's absolutely great, and it gives you all you need. And right off the bat, I was producing water with 0 TDS. So yeah, this manual here is for the inline TDS meter, so it'll measure the TDS coming inside as well as the TDS going outside. You can see you can move the switch to the right or left. Now this here on top is the membrane. This is pretty much what what filters everything, grabs all the gunk, and yeah, I'm just really excited to have this. My neighbor is also into saltwater tanks, so he was very excited that I got it, because I'm going to be helping him out get some water. We're just going to start mixing our own water. So here I take it all out of the box and kind of lay it out on the bed. You can see the accessories they give you, a full inlet, or I guess inlets you can call them, to adapters. But this is the bulk reef supply. If you guys want to check it out, you can go to bulk reef supply. Here's again the TDS inline that measures in and output TDS readings. I do have a water softener here at my home, so that what's coming in is like 10 TDS, which is not bad at all. That's my faucet water. So the filter is really not working that hard. I also have enough water pressure here, you know, to handle this, which was absolutely great. Now, a change I did do, guys, midweek is a thermometer. These Eheim Jagers were on sale. I don't know if you guys were watching, pretty much everywhere, 10% off. So I got the 150 watt. For you guys wondering about, the Eheim Jagers are very long thermometers or heaters. So for you guys wondering what fits in there, the 150 watt is an absolute max, like where the minimum water line, it's like just like barely there. So yeah, the biggest you can get is a 150. It says it's good up to 79 gallons. And the reason I changed this, guys, check that out, made in Germany. The reason I changed it is because I got tired. In my home, at night it gets about 62 degrees. So the previous Marineland just wasn't holding up. At night I'd have about 3-4 degrees drop. And this thing here, not only did it hold a lot better, but I love how you can calibrate the temperature. And yeah, I don't know, I was just a lot happier with it. So you guys wondering for a really good thermometer, I think right out of the gate I would go for this one. My Marineland, I'm just going to use it to mix up salt water and so on and so forth, but absolutely happy with this thing. And check this out, you can see how much of the coils, there's just more surface area of the coils, which that pretty much is going to translate to better heating of the water. And yeah, it's just going to hold a lot better, and I've been very happy with it. So one thing that did change this week, guys, is the substrate. As you guys can see here, I completely redid it. I took out all the water, all the rocks, and went with what Carib Sea calls their reef grade. Now this reef grade it's I believe 1 to 2 millimeter size substrate, you can see here, versus a 0.5 to like 1.5 millimeter substrate. And the reason I did this is obviously so it doesn't get blown away. I'm also able to get away with a thinner sand bed, as I kind of like for my looks a little bit better. But overall, very happy with the change, and it took about 2 hours to do, but it's something I would have rather done now than later. So with the tank, it's so cool and so amazing to see. Once the cycle process starts, it really gets going, guys. I mean, it's like, you know, a ball of snow rolling down an avalanche. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and faster, and you know, it just gets going. I remember at the beginning when I first started the cycle, it's, you know, everything was like asleep, dormant, you know, for probably a good 7, 8, 9 days. Then all of a sudden I started doing my test, you know, every 2 days to maybe see more drastic changes, and just now it's really crazy. Today I did do a test on ammonia, nitrite, and nitrate, and I'm actually picking them all up, which is great. The ammonia is there, not too high. The nitrite is there, and most importantly, I'm seeing nitrates already. So as the nitrates built up, that just pretty much means I need to do a water change. But it's great to see finally results happening. You know, I can officially say the tank is alive, if you will. The rock is alive for sure. You can see it. As I said, it's kind of hard to see in these in this video, and you know, the light, but you can kind of pick them out there. And like I said, it happens so fast. You know, 6 hours will make a big change as far as in my eyes. You know, 6 hours later when I check out the tank, I can start seeing you know, more and more of that algae growing around, the diatoms that we call them. But it's absolutely great. I'm really excited, guys. You don't know how bad I really want to throw some clownfish in here excuse me, and just get it going. Another reason I did go with like 6 mollies is because that allows me that later when I do add my livestock, I can add a little bit more than normal. So I won't overload my bio load too much. So that'll allow me to add a few more fish than normal. I'll probably start with about 3 to 4 of them, because I am going to be removing these. I'm probably giving them away to Buddy or my neighbor. I'll see who wants them. But yeah, they are not going to be thrown away. So for you guys wondering if they're going to be flushed down the toilet, no, they're not. You know, the last thing I want to do is remove a bio load of, let's say, well, in this case 6 fish, and then introduce 2 of them, because that's probably going to mess a little bit with the bio load as far as ammonias and the nitrites and nitrates. So I want to add, I don't want to add 6 fish. Obviously I'm going to be removing 6 and probably adding 3 to 4, so it can kind of balance out. Not that it would affect it too much drastically, but you always kind of want to add, in my case, in the way I did the cycling and what I've read, you want to, if you are removing quite a bit of fish, you want to add quite a bit of fish back into it and not let it be alone, you know, for more than about a day, because then there will be either too little ammonia, too much nitrite, and little nitrate, and so on and so forth. But yeah, guys, I'm really excited for week number 3. I can only imagine what the tank's going to do. It's already done so much in this past week, and it's been seeing so much of a big difference compared to last week's video in week 1. But overall, very excited to see what week 3 brings, and most importantly, I want to go shopping for a cleanup crew, get them in here, get snails, get crabs, get shrimp, get everything to really start working and really start turning this into an official reef tent. So that's it for today, guys. Be sure to leave any comments you may have below. I can't wait for next week, and as always, guys, thanks for watching. Till next time.